Hey, welcome back. This is Joey. We are on episode 16 and we are on a full run of doing the Star Wars vintage collection from 1977 to 1985. And if you want to catch up on past episodes and do a little binge session, please do. So, the spreadsheet. In an earlier episode, I showed you a display case that I based my whole collection on. And this was the inspiration that got me thinking, well, how do I organize my collection? And of course, I've altered it a little bit, but I got a lot of questions asking how I set it up and can I go into another dive on it. So I'll show you this spreadsheet really quick and then we'll get to collecting some figures. All right, so I created this spreadsheet so I can keep a visual record of what I want to collect, the number of figures, variants, and it also evolved in me keeping track of what figures I have on order, where I brought them from, and how much they ended up costing me. So if you want to break this down, let's just take Vader right here for an example. So when I ordered Vader from Orange Droid Vintage Toys, I placed an O inside the square just to make sure I knew that it was on order. And then right here, I would mark this off in red just to denote that I did get this from Orange Droid. And since we've already purchased it, I do have it marked off in usual gray. And then when the figure arrives and the unboxing goes okay, then I'll put the green square back up and I'll know that, yep, we're done and the figure can go in my collection. And I know a sheet like this might be overkill, but when you're trying to do a whole collection of about 100 and some 300 figures if you count my entire run, it gets to be a little bit daunting trying to keep up with this. But when I have this, it's a lot easier because I can keep everything on track and I know exactly where my collection stands and honestly how much I'm spending on it, So if you see me on social media and you want a copy of this, just let me know and I'll just send you a PDF. And then maybe if you have a PDF version and you really want to follow along and mark off what I mark off, it'll kind of be like, remember picture pages back in the day? Picture pages, time to get your picture pages. Yes, this is an 80s retro show. And who knows, maybe after seeing my list, it'll help you form a collection run of your own. So for today's episode, we're really gonna do a deep dive and use those reference sites as a guide to what figures that we finally want to get. Here is what we're looking for. So 21B was a medical droid that was in service to the Alliance to restore the Republic. And along with FX7, 21B was stationed at Echo Base on Hoth and treated Luke Skywalker with Bacta after Luke had been attacked by a Wampa. So 21B also treated Luke after his hand was amputated in a duel with Darth Vader on Bespin. He was also able to perform extremely precise operations that left little to no scar on his patients. So if you've seen episode 1, you do know that I have a 21B. We picked that up about 10 years ago, maybe longer, when I was in college, but it's missing a staff and it's in very mint condition. Its torso is super clear, no cracks in it, no paint rub, no paint loss like in the limbs. So let's make a plan. So today I want to pick up a staff for this particular 21B. And I think this one we're gonna send off for grading. So we'll buy a version of 21B that's complete that we can put inside our display case when it gets here. One that's in great shape, but maybe one that's not super grade worthy. Okay, so let's look for the display figure first. All right, so let's look at a few figures on eBay. Okay, right here. Okay, now I want to point this out. So look at the description and really read into it. So vintage loose 1980, meaning that it's not on the original card and it's been taken out. So, but look at these words right here. Complete figure. Now, that phrase, every time you read this on eBay, it should be sending like shivers down your spine and alarm bells inside your head. Because if we scroll down into the comments, let's check this out. Yep, here it is. So figure is complete with reproduction staff. So the word complete is how a lot of sellers on eBay skirt around the subject of listing a reproduction item that they are selling. Now, if you're allowing reproduction items in your collection, then you don't have to worry about this and you can collect these all day long. But since I'm staying true to my rules and not allowing a single repro item into my collection, I gotta be super careful of what I allow, and especially what I buy. So let's take a look at another figure. All right, so here we have a 21B, but it's advertised as a variant. So that might be a seller's way of driving up the price, and even if it's driving it up by a slight margin. So I have to go to the variant villain to check out a reference. So just for my own education, but also to verify that the seller is being legit, because I've never seen this before. I'm new. Just because I want to see if he's describing a true variant. And since this is the first time that I'm seeing this, and you guys should always do this as well. So it looks like this is a true variant because it says that it has the extra bolt on the left side of the hand. And yep, it looks like, according to the variant villain, that this is either a Unitoy or a Cater mold. So the seller isn't wrong. He's not wrong there, but you know, I don't think we're really into buying a variant figure, even though this one is a nice one. So let's save this one and we'll watch it for sure, but let's see what else we can find. And so we found a good version of 21B and the price was being lowered to 22 bucks. So you can see that there's some paint scuffs on his back and that he has a crack in his torso, but you know, that's okay because when we put this on display, we're not gonna see that. So let's go ahead and buy this one. And then we're gonna go back to look for a staff that we can put on our original 21B. So we found a couple of staffs. One that's a buy it now for $16.99. And the bid price for the other seller's page. So right now it's being listed for $199. At least the bid amount is listed for $199. So we're gonna wait on placing a bid. You know, we still have about 4 days left to bid on anything. So we'll have to come back, put the bid in, and then see how that goes. But let's go to the Imperial Gunnery. We wanted to come to the Imperial Gunnery to check out the pictures and just how they are compared to the ones being sold. So yes, both of these do check out, both the buy it now and the one for bid. The one for bid actually looks a lot better. If the price gets too high on the one for bid, then we'll just simply buy the one that's listed for buy it now. So the bidding price ended up being too high, so we ended up buying it for the buy now price of $16.99. So we'll just have to see what shape it's in when it gets here. So let's check out the eBay figure that we bought. So you can see that the eBay seller's pictures were pretty accurate, and there is paint missing from his back, and that the torso is chipped. But like I said, this is for display. But the staffs that we got on the buy it now on eBay, I mean, they look super mint and they look pretty flawless. So, I mean, we're pretty confident that paired with my old 21B, that, you know, I think we'll get a pretty good grade. I'm not sure what we're gonna get. I'm hoping at least to get a 75, and 80 would be spectacular. So we'll end up sending him to Collector Archive Services. So here they are together, ready to save lives and not overcharge you an arm and a leg. I wonder, what is healthcare like in a galaxy far, far away? I mean, they took pretty good care of Luke, and I wonder what his copay was. And I guess the Empire has a worse healthcare plan because I heard it cost Vader an arm and a leg when he got hurt. I had to. So I think that was a pretty good exercise, just going through my spreadsheet, refreshing you guys on how that works again. You know, my strategy and how I'm laying things out. And then also using reference guides on the internet just to make sure that the purchases that you're making, especially if you don't know like me, I'm not 1,000% sure on the things that I'm buying. So I need these references because I do not want to get sucked in that trap of buying a reproduction item. But at least on the surface, I know what could be a repro and what items that I seriously have questions on. Because before I was like, yeah, it looks like it, sure, why not, I'll buy it. But I'm really glad that we got to reuse my OG figure, my 21B, and just give him a staff, because I think that version is super grade worthy. So, and just one more shout out. So a couple of episodes ago, I showed you guys how I lost a bid on eBay for a Luke Skywalker Power of the Force coin, and the starting bid was $15, and we ended up getting embarrassed and bid out at $20. But a viewer reached out to me on social media, and he offered to sell me the coin for the low bidding price of 15 bucks. So Lance, I just want to call you out and say thank you so much. I mean, that means a lot to me. And when it gets here, we're definitely going to do a special unboxing. So thank you. And I have an update on the case from Collector Displays. So as I said in an earlier video, we're actually getting one that's in stock. This is the last one in stock, and the rest of them they have to build before they can send them out. We are getting this case in less than a week in this studio. I'm super stoked about that. That is gonna be like the biggest unboxing of all time. So thank you for joining me. I had a really great time. I always have a great time doing this. You can join me on social media. Just follow all the links down there inside the descriptions. And if you found this video entertaining and useful, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and also make sure you hit that bell. That way you can follow the journey on the other episodes that I have. But everyone, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. If you're new to the channel, check out the welcome video, or just check out the next episode. And please subscribe if you want to follow the journey. And remember, there is no shame in being a Padawan.